You can almost feel the weight in the air before anything even begins. Season 6 has wrapped filming, but now we're getting a rare look behind the curtain, into the moment that defines everything, the Crucify Him scene. And honestly, this one hits differently. It's not just about watching actors perform. It's about witnessing faith, exhaustion, and passion colliding under the blazing Texas sun. Right from the start, the energy is massive. 600 extras fill the space, but they're not just extras. They're fans who paid to be here, who chose to stand under that heat, because this story means something to them. You can see them shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" And it sends chills down your spine. For a second, you forget it's acting. It feels real. The scene takes place around Pilate's judgment area. You can spot some familiar faces among the crowd: Simon the Zealot, Mary, John, Eden. There's something surreal about seeing them surrounded by chaos, watching everything unfold while the crowd roars for blood. Some of the extras even play Pharisees and temple guards, standing in for the authorities of that time. It's fascinating how every background character adds to the illusion, each one part of the same storm that's about to swallow Jesus whole. And then there's the heat, the kind that makes the air shimmer. You can see people wiping sweat, clinging to water bottles, pushing through it. Reports said a few even passed out. The actors joke about it, but there's no denying it's brutal. The desert heat feels like another character in the scene, testing everyone's endurance. One of the crew even mentioned waking up to a heat warning that literally said, "Caution, possible death." You hear that and think, this is no simple production day. It's a trial in itself. Among the crowd are characters we've come to know: Jesse, Rafi, Dina, all back again. Their faces tell stories from earlier seasons, and now here they are, part of the mob that turns against the very man they once followed. It's heavy. The mix of fiction and faith makes the moment feel painfully authentic. As the camera pans, you see actors fighting exhaustion while staying in character. The temple guards try to keep control while the mob surges forward. Pharisees shout, Romans push back, and through all of it, you can almost hear the heartbeat of the moment, the weight of betrayal. One actor mentions that it's uncomfortable, but it adds to the authenticity, and he's right. You can't fake this kind of atmosphere. The sweat, the chaos, the discomfort. It all builds the truth of the story they're telling. There's a small group of Pharisees near the front. Some are regulars, others are new faces. You can see Atticus among them, calm, cold, watchful. The main cast is scattered throughout, blending with the crowd, shouting, reacting, living inside the scene. This isn't just filming, it's immersion. It's hard to imagine how emotionally draining it must be to yell, "Crucify him," over and over, knowing the story behind those words. Then the camera captures Jesus, weary, dirty, his face showing exhaustion and quiet strength. He hasn't yet been scourged, but you can tell he's been through the night. The actor carries this gravity that stops you for a moment. Someone says, even though we know how it ends, it's still hard to watch. And that's exactly what makes this scene so haunting. You know the ending, but seeing it come to life with such intensity brings it home all over again. At one point, someone reflects, we're filming a story about sacrifice, but we're also seeing the sacrifice of the crew and extras. That line sticks with you. It's poetic and true. The long hours, the heat, the discomfort, they mirror the suffering the story portrays. And there's something spiritual about that connection. If this scene were shot inside an air-conditioned studio, it wouldn't feel the same. The pain, the exhaustion, it all becomes part of the storytelling. As the shouting builds, the crowd splits, half calling for crucifixion, half silent, uncertain. One of the extras says she's glad she didn't have to yell those words. "I'm not sure I could have done that," she admits. But others see it differently. For them, playing this role, even as part of the angry mob, is a way to understand the story on a deeper level. "It's okay," one says softly. "You're just acting." Still, you can sense the emotional toll. The reactions grow quieter as people realize the weight of what they're enacting. Someone whispers, "Lord, forgive me," after the scene ends. And that single line says everything. It's not just performance. It's reflection. Between takes, the cast jokes and smiles to shake off the heaviness. You see small moments of friendship, Handshakes, laughter, tiny fists of joy to keep spirits high. But then just as quickly, the solemnity returns. One actor quotes Peter Jackson, "Pain is temporary. Film is forever." And in that heat, those words make perfect sense. What they're doing will outlast the exhaustion. It's history being retold, passion being immortalized. Later, we see Jesus again, now draped in a red robe given to him by Herod Antipas, meant as mockery. That robe will later follow him to the cross, symbolizing humiliation turned to glory. The detail is small, but it's powerful. You realize the production isn't just recreating a story, it's capturing symbolism, faith and emotion all at once. As filming continues, one extra reflects on how terrifying it is to see how quickly people can be swayed. We're seeing fans so into it that they can't even hear when the director yells "cut," he says. It adds this scary realism, and he's right. The crowd's frenzy feels too real. It mirrors how easily humanity turns, how the same voices that shouted "Hosanna" one week cry "Crucify Him" the next. That duality is unsettling, but that's what makes this scene unforgettable. Finally, as the chaos winds down, the camera lingers on the faces, sweat-streaked, drained, but deeply moved. One actor says, "It's hard to think about Jesus on the cross, but he did it, and we have to remember what he went through." Another adds, "We come here not just to act, but to serve." And that sums it up perfectly. For many of them, this isn't a job. It's devotion. By the end, you can feel the unity among everyone there. The extras, the actors, the crew. They talk about praying together, supporting each other, finding strength in community. Even through exhaustion, their passion burns bright. One crew member says it best, "To help in even a small way so this story reaches the world, that's the most important thing." And as the day wraps, the set quiets, leaving only the echo of what just happened. You can sense that something sacred unfolded, not just a scene, but a shared moment of faith and humanity. Season 6 is going to be unforgettable. The wait might be long, but if this behind-the-scenes glimpse is any sign, it's going to be worth every second.